Hey, what's up there, my global nobles? How's it going there, YouTube Nation? I know this has been an update you guys have been waiting for quite some time, and I've actually been holding it back, and I do apologize for that. But this is the latest patch that HTC decided to push. This will actually patch the stage Fright 2.0. My phone has been doing quite some crazy things. It's been bringing up the car application and all that stuff. So I figured it was just about time to get this patch before any security, breaches occur on my phone. Even though I think it's already been that part. So for all of you who haven't seen the last video of me downloading this update, it was pretty quick. It didn't last that long. The download is 189 megabytes, so do keep in mind if you are on mobile data, this will actually incur some charges if you're not really on the unlimited plan. But all in all, this is what the fixes and enhancements or changes will incur. So you got the device stability, bug fixes, new or enhanced features, further improvements to performance. To get the best out of your device, please keep your phone up to date, regularly check for software updates. So this last part right here is basically what some of you may get confused. Do keep in mind, I am on the HTC One M7. This device, the M7, has been declared obsolete. It is no longer going to be getting any software updates. So anybody who's saying, hey, are we going to get Lollipop and all this stuff? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to get Marshmallow on this. It seems that HTC has declared this phone already out of date, so the only thing that we are going to be getting is security updates. So please do not confuse this or send me comments. Hey, is this the Marshmallow? When are we gonna get Marshmallow? Because I am letting you know that Marshmallow is not going to be a part of the HTC One M7's critical update. So as far as we know, this is just maybe a rumor, but hey, I could be wrong. I have to call HTC again and really confirm it, but from what I've been told already, we are not getting Marshmallow. Although they did tell me that they did sign on with Google and other carriers, and other phone makers, for an alliance. As far as security updates go, the M7 will certainly get pushed. Any security, any security flaws that are found, definitely HTC will go ahead and patch universally all of their phones, so that way everybody is secure and your data or your pictures or whatever the case may be will be safe on your phone. Again, this update is pretty much short. It should take anywhere from like a good couple of minutes. You guys can see the glare. You guys can see my hands. Oh. See, this is what happens when you record on a nice looking phone like mine's, right? So most of you guys, if you haven't seen the glare already, I am recording on the HTC 4G LTE Evo. This was actually my first Android phone ever since I made the switch from Apple to Android, and I have to say HTC has been my phone maker of choice, being that they were the first phone makers to make an Android phone. So if you guys never knew that, yeah, time to do some Google research. But as far as everything else goes, I am a little upset that the HTC One still keeps on throwing out more generation phones, and with each one, it's kind of disappointing as far as performance. Now, I know most of you have been watching and viewing my videos and stuff like that, and my review of the HTC One M9 basically is some sort of like a joke that I didn't, somehow I wish I didn't make, but anyways, it's kind of dumb that they went with the 3 gigabytes of RAM instead of making it an even 4, so that way you guys can actually have 2 gigabytes of RAM to play whatever games, and then the other 2 gigabytes of RAM should be actually allocated for the system. But I guess 1 gigabyte will be allocated to the system and 2 gigabytes for whatever application and other stuff that you may use. As far as I know, the phone is pretty awesome, but it doesn't really catch something that I would want. There are new models that are coming out, even the iPhone killer, which is the HTC One A9. I keep on forgetting the model because they keep on coming up with so many generations of, this here and this and that. So, to be quite honest, it's just been one head turn of another. But I do hope that at some point HTC decides, alright, let's make it an even 4 gigabytes of RAM and we'll be good. So as you guys can see, this update pretty much was just short. It didn't take that long. I guess the patch was just 1, 2, 3s. I am probably missing out on November's security patch. I'm not sure. But then again, as far as the Alliance goes, security patches will come out each and every single month, or depends on if there is a huge security flaw that they need to go ahead and patch right away, then you'll get pushed over the air transfers on any Android update that may have a fix to any malware or potential virus, whatever the case may be. But for all of you guys who have the HTC One M7, you guys are the biggest troopers of them all because you have the original legendary phone that started it all. So don't lose faith on your phone. Your phone is doing pretty well. I've seen on YouTube how a lot of M7 users, and some of them are quite disappointing because you got the lens cracked, you got like some sort of defective flaws that they claim to make as a big excuse, but to be quite honest, the phone was made perfect. It does, the only thing that I do have an issue with is the camera. The camera, the rear camera is pretty much magenta, but that's like a camera. What was it? It's a camera sensor that has gone wrong. That's the only major flaw that I've actually seen on the HTC One M7, but on every other phone it's pretty much been fixed. If you guys do have this issue, you guys may want to go ahead and take it back to your phone carrier. If you have Sprint, Verizon, or T-Mobile, AT&T, and they will actually gladly fix this for you. On the other hand, if you're still under warranty, then definitely HTC will take back your phone and replace the camera for you absolutely free. And you guys can take advantage of that while you can. But as far as everything else goes, yes, there are some users that really didn't take care of their phones properly. They let it drop, I guess. I will actually show you my phone in a minute, or when it actually ends up, when it finishes doing its update. This is going to be a while, so I guess this is where my 15 minutes of fame goes up. But again, like I said, there has been many users that really, I guess, mistreated the phone, or I don't know what, But to me, I actually did take care of my phone. I put it in a case. There is no scratches on any of the lenses, whether it be the front camera or the rear camera. Most of my videos that I do on YouTube does come from the HTC One M7's front view camera. So, you know, as far as clarity goes, it's pretty much awesome. I do have issues with the rear camera, but, you know, I'm just too lazy to take it back to Sprint. I do have an insurance on it, and they would gladly fix it, but I kind of don't want to risk that fact, so I probably might send it back to Asurion and have them take care of it, or either replace it with another phone. But for what it's worth, yes, I do have only one certain manufacturing flaw, and again, I will show you this once I'm done. I did have to do some like desperate measures just to get this fixed temporarily until I can actually contact Asurion and let them know that I do have a damaged phone that I would like to have replaced. And again, if you're under insurance and you do have Asurion is basically the best way to go to getting a replacement phone right away, because you can actually give them a call and they'll send you the phone while so when you basically when you get off the phone, the cell phone replacement is already on the way, and then hopefully within 2 days you should be able to get your new device. They'll give you a box in which you will have to return the old device. If you don't do that, then eventually they'll charge you for it, and they'll charge you full price, even though if your device is broken or it's kind of like already worn to the T, they will still charge you it like if it was brand new. So do be careful when you do those kinds of transactions, because if, like I say, if you don't take care of it, then eventually you'll either get billed by your credit card, your phone bill, your next cell phone bill, or they'll basically come and hunt you down, bounty hunter style. Alright, so the optimization of the applications is pretty much going smoothly. It's not doing what it used to do, hanging up on a couple of apps. So I'm guessing this update is pretty much smooth and simple. It's going to be checking like a couple of stuff. I'm guessing since this is a security patch update, it's also scanning applications to see which ones are malware, which ones are goodware, and you stay happy. But as far as I know, yes, it is upsetting that the HTC One M7 will not be getting Marshmallow. We're opting that I'm actually being a hopeful person that we do get the Marshmallow, but as far as my contacting HTC goes, the back and forth banter or chatters or whatever you might want to call it, assured me that yes, the HTC One M7 model is obsolete. It has passed its 2-year HTC guaranteed or whatever that crap is, or whatever it's called. It's actually past its already mark. So being that the HTC One M8 and the M9 has already been released, there is no way the HTC One M7 will get updated, although they still do run, put it this way, the software isn't pretty much changed from the HTC One M8 to the 7, but they say that there was an update when it came to Lollipop. There was an update flaw that they did push out. The HTC One M7 update Lollipop to HTC One M7 phones. And when that happened, there was some type of confusion where Wi-Fi calling was enabled when really the HTC One M7 does not support Wi-Fi calling. And with that confusion, came up that yes, the HTC One M8 software is a lot different than the HTC One M7, and hence why there is no way that they can actually code every single version of the HTC One family onto the Marshmallow. So they're like, all right, if we can save time coding the M7 update and then push it to all of the HTC family, then it should work. But for some reason it didn't, and there was like a huge bug, and there was like a lot of confusion, even on my comments on previous videos that I did about it. Some users did actually see the Wi-Fi calling, but after some patching and some fixing from HTC, they had it removed and it was no longer working, or it wasn't there. Or some of you may have said, hey, I still see the icon, but when I click it, it does nothing. It's basically was the same for me. So as far as all that stuff goes, you're not going to be getting that anytime soon. So yes, this will be maybe the last update, or the last major update that I might be recording on this phone. Although I'm not going to be getting the HTC One M9 or the A9, because really to me it's not much of a difference. It's not really my thing to go ahead and update, because one thing's for sure, as far as performance go, yes, it may have the octa-core, yes, it may have good and better memory, but the memory size as far as RAM goes, 3 gigabytes, is really not worth it. There are phones out there that do 4 gigabytes of RAM, and that's like basically the best you can ever go with, because you can ensure that 2 gigabytes of RAM will go onto the system, and then the other 2 gigs of RAM will go onto every application that you have on your phone, and you won't lag whatsoever. As far as performance, Wi-Fi, streaming, viewing videos on YouTube, everything will be nice and crispy and clear with lag-free resistance and all that other stuff. But when it comes to 3 gigabytes of RAM, usually the system, the Android system, eats up approximately like about 1.5 gigabytes of RAM at times, peaks at 1.5, and this causes overheating, and then the overheating will actually go ahead and degrade your battery. I am now having issues with this phone as far as battery goes. I'm figuring that the updates that have been pushed and all this stuff did break a couple of things and did fix a couple of things, but as far as battery life goes, battery life has been actually degrading for me. I've been scared to really say this much about the battery life, because I know a lot of you have been asking me, hey, how's the battery life? What is going on with the with Lollipop? Is it really worth updating? And to be quite honest, if you're on the latest KitKat version 4.4 or the 4.4.2, then you're basically good. You should actually stay with that, because Lollipop actually drains a lot more battery than it presumably was to save. So I kind of constantly have to charge my phone every once in a while, because I do stream on I do stream on various social sites. I do live streams. I do record and stuff like that, and that eats up battery a lot. There'd be times where I can actually stop streaming and it'll go from 15% to 10% within 5 minutes. And then if I start sending text messages, or if I start looking at videos, or if I start getting on Kik, Snapchat, or any other program that eats up battery due to the fact that it requires permissions to use your camera, microphone, and all that stuff, my battery life goes from 10 to 5 to 1 within minutes. So it's a big warning when it comes to the battery and using certain applications. that definitely you might want to take a look at. You might want to be cautious. I can say that these applications that were to save your battery or clear your RAM, clear the cache, some of them do work, but as far as the M7 goes, it doesn't really need it, because the only thing you may need is something to clear the cache. But then again, you can always do that by holding down the power button and the volume down at the same time before booting up your device. Go into recovery, and then it should take you to another menu. It's going to take a while when it loads up. But once you get to that menu, you can actually scroll down. Once you get there, you scroll down and you click on Clear Partition Cache. What that means is basically you're wiping all of the resident memory that's held temporarily on the phone, and then you're basically good to go as far as that goes. But you know, that's just about it. I mean, I don't know what is there else that you can do to ensure that this pretty much stays stable and you guys can actually save a lot of battery life. But you don't really need all those junk programs that that they say you really need. Let me see if I can actually set this down. No, I can't. So yeah, when it comes to things like that, you probably might have to just wing it, and hopefully some certain updates can actually improve performance on your device. So usually these updates take about a good 30 minutes or so. This one is taking pretty long because I'm guessing the applications that I do have installed on the phone, and not only that, there has been, I'm guessing they added a lot more bloatware, but I'm not that sure. But I'm just hoping things will actually be a lot better as far as battery performance goes, because charging my phone has been a pain in the wazoo, just for the simple fact that, yes, I do use the phone a lot. I do get into things on the phone, as far as streaming, live streaming, watching videos on YouTube, watching streams on YouNow. Oh, sorry for the shakiness right there. So this process shouldn't take that, well, it depends on your phone, but as far as this one goes, it shouldn't be that long. And it's heating up. I can actually feel the phone's heat going on my hand here. Okay, so my battery was actually at 100%. When I started this update, I made sure that the phone was fully charged, so that way it can actually do the update. It's always recommended that you put your phone to charge before doing any sort of updates, so that way you don't kill the sensor, or you don't confuse the sensor inside the battery as far as it reading or measuring correctly the battery life on your phone. So in this case, I made sure that the battery life was at 100%. That way I can actually determine after the update whether or not the battery is working pretty well. So if I see that the battery went down to a good 15%, or maybe it went from 100 to 85 or 75%. Let's just say that the battery life went from 100 to a good 75%. What that means on my end, in my mind, assuming that the battery is going dead and that any stressful thing that you do on your device will eventually kill your battery in intervals of 15. So if you start seeing that, yes, your battery life went from 100 to 70 or 100 to 75%, then yes, you might have to look into coughing up a couple of dollars to go get the battery replaced. From what I get, Sprint, if you're not on the insurance plan, Sprint will charge you at least $45 to a good $80 for the battery to get replaced. This is extremely expensive, but heck, it's worth it because you're getting a brand new battery, and then hopefully your device is still salvageable and then you guys can still use it. But as far as everything else goes, yes, if you're on insurance, it should be quick and easy. And you guys should be able to do what you gotta do, you know? We're almost done. And we're at the 28-minute mark, so I'm figuring, I guess 30 to 35 minutes is this whole update. Usually I do time it correctly in the beginning of my videos, but since this was a short update, it pretty much just did things on the fly. It's just a security patch. It's nothing major other than the bug fixes and stuff like that. I did send a couple of HTC reports when it became a little, I had a little issue with text messaging. It seems that text messages, when you have a thread that's really, really long, like maybe 2,000 messages long, then there be times that your phone may lag on that one thread. So if you just have been texting one person this whole time, your phone will start to lag out on that message. So the best things you can actually do is back up your text messaging and then delete the thread if you feel like it. But do keep in mind that when you back up the text messaging, any video, any pictures, anything that was actually sent or received will not go in the backup. It will actually get deleted. So if you was to delete that thread and say, for instance, you come out saying, "Oh, I had a funny video that this such and such sent me through text messaging. Let me go into my backups and then retrieve it." You're not gonna find it there, buddy. You're basically done for when it comes to that video, especially if you've text messaged a whole bunch of times. Yeah, that video is pretty much gone unless you save it directly onto the phone's or the phone's memory. But then again, I don't know who really is just like me that would hold at least more than 3,000 text messages on one thread. But that's just me. I'm just odd like that. I just don't like to delete any text messaging due to the fact that, heck, I'm like the human Rolodex when it comes to, you said something in that text message that was just too silly, and then it could be months later and be like, well, I never remembered sending you the text message, and then you could go back and be like, oh, well, there it was. It was sent October 12th, 2005, and then you'd be like, what, 2005? But we're in 2015. That's 10 years later, buddy. That's basically it. That's me right there. But not really that I would hold text messages from like years back. But still, I do text message certain people a lot. So it does tend to lag out the phone's messaging service. But I did send a couple of reports on it because it did crash messaging on my phone, and I ended up sending those error reports to HTC in hopes that this or maybe a next patch will fix it. But let's see what happens. I'm only here to wait and see what's going on. So as soon as this is done, I'm actually going to kill the video. I will do another video just in case if there is any major changes, although I just doubt that there will be any major changes, any visual changes that I may see or may not see, because usually the changes that HTC claims to have made is mostly internal and stuff that you might not notice unless you start using your phone like on a regular basis. You start opening apps, closing them, watching streams and stuff like that, or text messaging certain people, then you start to notice all these changes. If you notice that the phone is getting faster, or if it does respond the way that you would expect it to, then you're basically watching those fixes at hand. But if you guys haven't seen any performance improvements as far as speed, as far as opening apps on the fly, or text messaging, or web browsing, or the way that your Wi-Fi connects to your router or something like that, then yes, those changes, you'll be like, oh, well, it seems HTC never did fix this problem that I had. So, do keep in mind that most of these changes are basically not visual. They're mostly internal. And we only got 10 more to go. Hurry up. Snap, snap. I want to kill this. Everybody wants to start viewing another video already. Hurry ups. But then again, I do thank you all for watching. I do appreciate all the loves, the likes, the comments, and all that other stuff. Do subscribe if any. If you found this useful, if you found this interesting, you'd be like, yo, I've never seen a full Android update before. And believe me, I do this all the time. I still have a couple of updates to go on my HTC Evo 4G LTE, but I haven't really done them because the phone is obsolete. It's no longer one of the coolest phones on the market. Oh snap, we got 6 more to go. Everybody root for the 6 more apps. Oh, we got 5 more. It's 34:28. But But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's been actually very, very, very fun. It's been cool. And hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I have. Because as far as I know, my wrist and my hand is pretty much stiff and falling asleep. I gotta get me one of those tripods. I used to have me one, but I don't know where I put it. Oh, we're down to one more. I guess this is gonna be a long one because this is probably the Android app. Right? Am I right? Am I right? I could be right. And there we go. 315 out of 15s. All right. Oh, there we go. Get the little HTC logos. Get some little warning message here. It seems that I got a warning message. I wonder what it is. I don't know. Let's turn back on the phone. Oh, it's still loading. Wow, wait a minute. What just happened there? Alright, so congratulations. Your phone has been updated and successfully screwed to version 6.23.651.10. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I do thank you very much. I guess it's a little brighter, but I'm not that sure. Alright, so look. So I had 100% on my phone. This time it actually brought it down to a good 81%, which is not that bad. To be quite honest, it's not bad. At least it's not 75. You know, usually when I do major updates that are approximately 300 megabytes big, it does take it from 100 to a good 75%. But this case, it's at a good 80%. So a good 20% of my battery life has been depleted due to this update. But then again, I will pay attention more on this battery issue. And then I'll post it up on you guys, on YouTube's, sorry. And then I will let you know what it is. But I will definitely let you guys and gals know what it is on this update, what has changed, what hasn't changed. And if you really want to improve your battery life, I know this is a little bit of annoyance, but do keep on Battery Saver. Battery Saver does work. It actually kills anything that really is taking too much of your battery life. And as far as I know, yes, Wi-Fi does get interrupted when you're on Power Saver, but if you have a good internet speed connection, you shouldn't be seeing any type of issues whatsoever. So again, I do thank you all for watching. I do appreciate all of the comments, the love, and all this stuff. And as always, you guys are the best. So again, I will let you know on anything that has changed. And as far as I know, nothing really much has changed. Everything is still the same. We still got the Beaty Beats. Yep, we still got the Beats audio in there and all this other stuff. But there you guys have it. I do thank you very much. Do subscribe, comment, like if anything. Or if you have any issues or anything or any questions you might want to ask, definitely do leave them in the comment section below, and I will try to take the time to review and reply to your comments. Do keep in mind that when you do send linked comments, I am not going to get them. So I do appreciate it if you do comment within the video, and then I will get back to you as soon as possible, because it seems that links, comments, or any comments that are really much linked from Google Plus or G Plus or whatever doesn't really show up on my notifications. So again, thank you very much. Have a great week.